Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trials and woe. On their own they falter, but together they will write their own tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. What was rent shall be restored. What was lost now shall be found. The price of valor ever rising, but victory brings new rewards. Tales of glory, might, and wonder, hard-fought battles, treasures won. Our heroes know their fate awaits them, and so they carry on.
Okay, check. There we go. That is the mic. Here's the desktop. We have returned. Check. There we go. That is the... Wonderful. Hello, and welcome to Avernus. I am your... Wait, that's not the right accent. I am your humble stream host, and not your master of dungeons, nor your keeper of dragons, Pixel, and I'm pleased to present to you that no one told me that running directly into a wall of fire to burn an infernal tree, it would be this badass of a Chrono Trigger combo move. 22nd episode of Ages of Einor presents Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. The reason I'm laughing my way through that, of course, is because I did the whole thing previously, but you couldn't hear any of it because, long story short, I had to mess with my audio setup today and to reset the defaults in OBS, whatever. As always, we're going to get to the game here in just a few minutes, but before we do, we're going to go over those usual housekeeping things. Right up top, I have a big reminder. Last week, we had our first episode of a new campaign of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. We had a great first episode. Our cast did a wonderful job on their first stream, so please go watch that if you are interested. And I believe our next our Rite of Succession, our next session will be June 29th if you want to watch live. Also, we have run this campaign before. It was the first full campaign we did on this stream, actually, so if you'd like to watch that before or after enjoying the new campaign of the same adventure, you can find those old videos on our YouTube as well, along with the half dozen or so other campaigns we have streamed and completed. Dozens of hours of at least mediocre content awaits you should you so desire. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, we resume our regularly scheduled stream intro nonsense. I'll try to be brief, and it won't work. First things first, don't spoil stuff. I'm not the GM, so you can't spoil anything off my screen, but if you happen to know this adventure, keep your damn mouth shut and your secret spilling keys off your secret spilling keyboard. You know, never a problem with you guys, but I assume none of you know the secrets of this adventure and haven't read it, but I feel compelled to say this for nothing if not tradition at this point. Second, don't freak out about the rules. This game has a lot of them. We just changed over the 2024 rules, and some of us may get things wrong. Deal with it. Don't be a wang rod. Also, don't be a jerk to our players or each other, especially regarding things like our knowledge of the game rules, character RP choices, or frankly, anything about us or each other. You guys are never a problem, but we do like to get that out of the way in case anyone is plotting behind our backs and gets any strange ideas. Third, as I sort of just alluded to, this is an open and welcoming space. So again, don't be a wang rod. And final reminder, we do release the show on YouTube following each episode during the next week, so if you have to miss part of the ep or just want to rewatch it, because it's that good, it'll be up on the Ages of Honor YouTube page. And of course, last thing before we get started, we're going to remind everyone who we are and where we can be found on the internet and who we will be playing today. I'm going to throw it over to DocRobert.
Hi everyone, I am Robbie, or DocRobert, and I am the Dungeon Master for this hellish adventure, playing everyone that are not our 5 intrepid adventurers. So I am gonna throw it back to Pixel.
I'd do a spit take, but then I would spit on my own computer monitor. So just imagine that that's what I did. Hey guys, I'm Pixel. And you can find me here on twitch.tv/hammerandpixel. My stream schedule is going to be changing, but as it turns out, because of my work schedule, it's not going to be quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. I will still be able to get a couple of streams in per week in addition to the Ages of Einor stuff. So you can find me there. And tonight I will be playing Phoenix Brightgrin, surly dwarven son of a bitch, bad father, and barbarian.
Next on the list, Bonus Mom.
I am Bonus Mom, and tonight I will be playing Bonnie Mama, a human warlock who is disgruntled with finding herself in hell. And yeah, so that's where I am. You can find me TikTok and Twitch mostly, but I occasionally pop up on YouTube and in the local news. So, well, no, wait, no, I've never been in the local news. Oh, well, I still have that in front of me. And I do have chat inspiration. What about you, Pixel? Do you?
That's a great question. I forgot to think of an answer to, by which I mean check my inventory sheet and see what it says about my chat inspiration status. It does appear that I have chat inspiration.
Excellent. Next on the list is McReese.
Guys, I'm McReese. Tonight I will be playing Raven LaFey, the tiny tiefling druid. I do have inspiration, and I can be found keep Bonus Mom's community safe.
Next, Cam.
Hello, I'm Cam, or Normark. You might recognize me from such shows as this one. Tonight, I'll be playing the mighty and incredible Jax.
And chat inspiration.
Oh, wait, yeah, no, I don't have that.
Oh,
That's the thing I don't have.
And last, but certainly not least, Kaylee.
Hi, I'm Kaylee, or Christy, and I am playing Temperance, an Air Genasi sorcerer who is very tired of the voices talking in her head. And I can be found on actually in several places. So I occasionally stream on Twitch, although I haven't in a little while. I'm also very active on TikTok. I also play D&D with another group called Reality Break 20, which you can find on Twitch and also on YouTube, which is where our most recent campaign, we're playing through the Candlekeep Mysteries with my mom and my brother as other players as well. So it's been very entertaining. But we play, those go up live on Tuesday nights, actually.
All right. So let's do a quick recap because it has been a hot minute since we've played, although we have, for the first time in a while, made 2 consecutive episodes. Yay!
Hooray! And there was much rejoicing.
I don't want to speak too soon, but I believe 2 weeks from now, I should be free 2 weeks from now, I should be free. So hopefully we'll make it three consecutive episodes.
Hooray!
Yes. So, last time on Dungeons and Dragons, our intrepid adventurers have been sent to try and find this mystical sword that is supposed to help them defeat Zariel, the Archduke of Hell, to save the city of El Terrell, which has currently been dragged asunder into Avernus itself. However, they've run into some issues while doing that. The first thing, the place they tried to go is a place where devils are, or demons are destroyed, and they found the thing that destroys the demons, which is, good, but unfortunately for them, it was being powered by a unicorn, which they didn't like, and the only way they could save it is to get rid of the Tao, the Earth Genie, that is currently guarding it. So they're like, okay, they found the way to do that was to go to the Bone Brambles and talk to a hag there, who certainly could help them. The hag was about as helpful as you imagine a hag would be, which is less than none, but not significantly so. Telling them that the way to release the Tao from their curse is to get a Titan's blood. That will release them from the bonds. And it just so happens she happens to know where a Titan may be. That Titan is Uldrak. And so they are on their way to go find Uldrak and hopefully get some of his blood to get and release them and get the thing and maybe help. It's a little unclear. Poor Lulu's memory just ain't what it used to be. So with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and say it is the next day. You may go ahead and take a long rest if you haven't already had one.
Hooray!
All right, you guys.
Robbie, was that Wand of the War Mage a +1?
Yes, I believe it was a +1. Then, you guys, so you've had the night, so you can take a second if all of those may have happened, but just as a reminder, the last thing that happened was that there was a voice in Temperance's head that seemed to be quite pleased that all of this was happening and mentioned something about her husband? Future husband? Temperance was not terribly thrilled with that either way. With that, we'll go ahead and take a second. What are you guys doing? I assume preparing, but how are we preparing to get ready for this next leg of the journey?
Sure. One of the first things I'd like to do, just to make sure we have it down, so we got that hat of disguise. We want to just go ahead and decide who's going to be carrying that, so we can get it on somebody's inventory sheet so it doesn't get lost in the ether.
Good.
I don't need it. I have another way of casting Disguise Self.
What about the rogue? The rogue one hat of disguise? Seems like a thing.
Jax will take that.
Okay.
Easy enough. Okay. You wake up the next morning. Why don't we get a wisdom save from Raven to see how you wake up?
Okay. $13.
You're good. It was as peaceful of a night as you're likely to get in hell, which means only some terrifying voices invading your dreams, as opposed to the normal amount, which is much more. So, wake up as yourself, I assume, although you can tell me if that doesn't feel right. And then on to everyone else starts to wake up, get ready. How are we doing? How's everyone feeling today? Are we, what's the vibe in camp as you start to get ready to yet another errand for a creature that you're not particularly fond of?
Well, ever since Neil left, Bonnie started out being so disgruntled and angry that she was actually belligerent and very disagreeable. and fed up, and kind of felt like she and Phoenix were as one as far as just general disagreeability. But she has softened up a bit and is a little bit probably resigned, probably just going around. She's the one that's been handing out the food that tastes terrible and whatever, and she's probably just going about business. And are we still in that maze, or we're back
Oh no,
with
you're
our
out.
vehicle?
You're back with your vehicle, which is where you spent the night. Unless you wanted to go and spend the night with the hag.
No, Bonnie's
Okay, then
back
at the
on the back.
vehicle.
Bonnie's place of comfort now is back in the back of the vehicle. And when she's got nothing else to do, she is sitting back there crocheting what could be thought of as some kind of a scarf, but she's run out of yarn, so it's whatever string or anything she could find, vines, whatever, you name it. She's just kind of crocheting whatever she has into this mystery scarf with her Tunisian crochet hook, and that's what she's doing.
Is yarn, like wool yarn, something I could druid craft since it's something wool being natural?
Probably in small amounts. It'd take you a while to collect enough of it, but if you spent some time to sit and then continually cast it, I would say yeah.
Yeah.
It would take some downtime to do, but
yeah, Raven's been druid crafting some yarn that she kind of takes over to Bonnie.
In the beginning, Bonnie only grunted, but she's actually getting a little bit thankful now and and appreciative, and smiles a bit at Raven.
I will remind everybody, I haven't updated the graphics yet, but Phoenix, at the end of last episode, ran directly into a giant wall of fire. So he is quite singed. He had newer armor that, has, now that he's been in hell, has been beaten quite a bit, but is also, has scorch marks on it. His beard has, been burned down to just little nubbins. His hair is, he didn't have a lot of hair to begin with, just kind of this, top of his head. Crown of his head had hair on it, which was kind of spiked back, but now it's just crispy and curly and little fried. Some of the color is bleached out of it. His eyebrows are mostly missing. So Phoenix is looking harder than ever.
Raven would have just lilacs to cover up the burnt hair smell.
But it's kind of that thing of when there's a bad smell and then somebody maybe sprays something, but it just combines and you're tasting it.
So now it smells like burnt hair and lilacs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hairy burnt lilacs.
Nice.
And hell.
And hell.
And sulfur.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
brimstone. And, yeah.
Fire and brimstone.
Lovely, lovely scent going around.
That ain't no brim, and it didn't come off no stone either.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think Temperance would be, she writes in her journal every night and every morning. But this morning, I think she would have pulled out that it's a circlet of elemental blasting, but it's got the 5 different gemstones, which she's been carrying, but hasn't put on, hasn't been using. And she's just looking at it and kind of not paying attention this morning to what's going on around her.
Raven's kind of eyeing Temperance, wanting to know more about the being called a celestial thing.
Temperance would like to know more too.
Would
Do
you
you
like to know
ask
more?
her?
Because she's trying not to get caught looking, but the celestial thing is kind of tickled something in her mind, and she keeps picturing to see if Temperance could grow wings or something. It's just these odd little because I know last week I had asked if Temperance had ever had wings before.
No. I mean, I can fly a bit because of being an air genasi, but no wings that I'm aware of. Don't know if I'll grow them, but
just in an intense moment, just sort of poof, wings.
honestly, I think anything is possible at this point.
I know of people who supposedly have celestial blood who can do that. And they're annoying about it.
Well, I didn't know I had celestial blood until yesterday, so I have no idea.
Is the dragon that you're connected to a celestial dragon? I thought it was a bad dragon.
Well, I thought that it was a bad dragon, but I don't know anything about it. I don't. I wish I did. I wish I knew a way to find out, but I don't know anything, and it's very frustrating.
I get that. Supposed to be finding information, and all we get is more damn questions.
I know, right? Like, I'm so tired of going to fetch things.
I
It
thought
would
we were coming
involve
down here
fetching
to
things,
save-
but you could, if you wanted great honor, you could chop off the dragon's head and bring it back to your tribe.
I don't want to go anywhere near my tribe. They're the problem. I forget, you haven't been here. So I grew up in a cult, and I escaped. Well, I thought I escaped. Turns out they've been chasing me and following me, and now I've got the dragon who's the cult is formed around, talking in my head, telling me about future husbands that I don't want.
I suggest that you go inside your head, chop off its head, and give it to your friends instead of your tribe.
I don't know how that would work, but I will take that under advisement, I guess.
Would that be considered matricide?
I hope not, but I have
Well,
a
in a
sneaky
mattress.
suspicion. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would.
Well,
kill the mattress. It didn't do
celestial,
anything.
if the celestial part doesn't come from Tiamat, then maybe there's, well, a father side?
Anyone who would like could go ahead and roll a religion check.
No, sure. Why not?
I'm not going to do that.
Ugh, I'm never usually good at these.
My massive +0. Let's go.
That's a 6.
Also, my
funny.
massive
That's
+0.
so I love when we roll in character. Okay. So you have what you think is a pretty good guess. If you are connected to Tiamat, pretty much all of the gods live in the celestial realm, even if they're bad. So it could just be that that it's the divine that they are sensing, whether it be, even if it's divine in a negative sense, they're just sensing that divine blood.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense to me, says Fenix with his 9 intelligence.
So, like, if
Or his 9 roll.
if someone shows up saying they're your betrothed, do you want us to attack on sight?
Well, no, because quite frankly, they might know something. They might have information. I wouldn't be friendly, though.
Kneecap them.
Yes, I like that idea. I just don't want to have anything to do with them. But if I need to get information, that they're probably going to have some. So
Information would be helpful. I'm tired of feeling like a glorified gopher. I thought we were supposed to be saving a city. Saving Bonnie.
yeah, me too. It just feels like we're running in circles and doing favors for everybody else, not the people that we want to.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay home and run around for administration. I just stayed home and worked for my mother.
Well, we could have stayed in Baldur's Gate.
I wish I would have stayed home. I would have lost Neil sooner, but I wish I would have stayed home. Bonnie casts an eye up to the front of the thing, and she sees Phoenix up there,
Sure.
and she kind of makes a face
Looking like crap.
and looks
No
down at what
eyebrows.
she's crocheting and begins to unravel it.
Yeah, Phoenix is standing there, staring off into the distance, the hellish wind just sort of wisping his mostly burned beard. He seems unperturbed. Well, part of, we're having to do all these favors for people because they have stuff we want to do what we want to do. It's just that we're kind of far down the chain, you know what I mean? But it's like we had to help that hag lady because we want to, figure out how to end that Dow's pact, and we want to end the Dow's pact because we want to help the unicorn, and we want to help the unicorn because I think the unicorn maybe knows something about that sword. Lulu led us to the unicorn, so we presume the unicorn is important in resolving that. So, but
So
now
we
we're
have
headed
to
for
go
this.
ask for blood.
Do what now?
Ask a Titan for his blood.
I
Yeah.
mean, you do not need to ask.
You should just cut off its head and take it back to your tribe.
Also an option. I would also like to remind you all that some of us did not have a choice but to be here in hell.
Noted. Thank you for your reminder.
Well, what do we do now? Do we head her up and spin her up?
Yeah, I suppose so. We're supposed to go to a cemetery. I'm assuming we got a vague direction, at least from the hag.
She pointed on the map where it was,
Okay.
but also like that doesn't really mean anything either because in hell you just kind of go, I want to go here, I want to go here, and then you hope really hard. And then if you're lucky or unlucky, depends on how that'll go. Okay. All right. So is that where we're going? Who's driving?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah, I would assume it's Raven with Temperance at shotgun and
All right.
Bonnie manning the big catapult in the back.
I love that. Raven or
Raven.
Temperance, one of you roll me 2d6 and tell me what each die roll is.
Oh boy.
You want to do it since you're driving?
Oh, okay. It's just we're both sitting here waiting for the other to do it.
That's what I thought.
We may be
That's
in
a
hell,
1
but we're
and a
polite.
3.
A 1 and a 3? Okay.
Yep.
You guys start off on your trip. And you travel for a few hours. By the way, mark off 1 soul coin, please, for fuel. You get about 1 per day, so you'll want to keep track of that. You travel
Drops
for
in a little kitty ride slot.
yeah. You travel for several hours, and eventually, Temperance, you have the map, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You just hear the map talk, and it just says, a fallen titan or a wimp with delusions of grandeur. I'll leave that for you to decide.
I think we're getting close. It actually used the word Titan this time, so it wasn't vague.
And you do see a teeny little dot on the horizon, or at least you thought it was on the horizon, and you realize it's approaching pretty quickly. It's just really small. Maybe a single memorial? Probably about... Go on.
Like we're coming up on it, or we're
You're
kind
coming
of
up on
at
it.
the same time?
No,
Okay.
you're coming up on it. It's static. It's just a teeny little blurb out on the endless salt flats that are Avernus. You see a small protrusion that you thought may be something big in the distance, but seems more likely something pretty small, not too far away.
Moving or just
Static, not moving at all.
okay. Keep heading towards that
Okay.
since it's
You get closer, and you kind of get close to it, and then you see it's not even a full memorial. It looks like a sword, an enormous great sword. Enormous by your standards. It looked like it was one of the cross cemetery headstones, but it's actually the head of this enormous great sword that stands at about 3 or 4 foot. And embedded in the hilt is a enormous ruby gemstone. Then at the bottom of the sword, you see a proportionally large helmet that probably sits about probably that wide, a solid 3-ish foot wide, maybe. The helmet itself is cracked and beaten, but it seems to just be there. The sword is sticking mostly in the ground, with only the top half of it up, sword in the stone style.
I don't suppose our luck has changed and we've just randomly stumbled upon Zuriel's sword.
Lulu would
No.
say, I don't think that's it, but it looks cool.
Yeah, I didn't think we could get lucky.
I mean, given the size of the helmet, do you not think that this might have belonged to a Titan?
That would make sense.
A Titan with a headache.
We certainly had
Somebody got to his
they
head
certainly
first.
had a headache after they got that crack in the helmet.
Temperance is gonna jump down and take a closer look at it.
At what?
At the sword.
Yeah. So the sword is, again, it's as you look at it, it's pretty dusty and grimy from being here, but the closer you look at it, it is absolutely immaculate. The scroll work on the blade is beautiful. There are runes that are etched in it. You can see beautiful knurling across the handle that looks like it would make it a beautiful grip. This weapon is truly a masterpiece work of art. And again, massive. We're talking even from the hilt itself, the crossguard is probably that wide.
As I see
3-4 foot out of the ground.
Temperance getting somewhat closer to it, I literally just kind of like, I would recommend not touching it.
Oh, I'm not going to, but I just wanted to get a closer look, see if it had anything interesting about it.
The other thing you notice too is that beautiful red ruby pommel that shines in the Avernian light. It's got a gleam to it.
Do I see anything interesting about the helmet?
The helmet itself is quite pretty, but it has an enormous crack that it runs right across the top of it, where it looks like it took a really nasty hit.
Can I tell if there's any like blood or anything on the edge of the crack? Or
you don't see any.
Okay.
And I have a look at the runes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Am I able to read them by any chance?
What languages do you speak?
Multiple languages.
I'll look at the character sheet.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I speak Infernal and Celestial.
It's in Celestial.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in Celestial. As you look at it, and so they seem to be prayers. To hold on, I will tell you exactly to who. Where is it? Oh, come on. Not me getting closer to attempt to read. Surtur, Surtur, Sartor, which you would recognize as a good aligned god. I don't actually know much about that god, so no religion roll is going to help you when the DM doesn't know.
Fair enough. I'll pass that along to
Thor
Jax.
Ragnarok.
Well, that's interesting. Does it look like something that would belong to a Titan?
I mean, yeah, that tracks. So I'm just gonna give you an extension of that D20 of that 20 religion roll from a minute ago. You know that, yeah. Cam.
I know who Surtur is.
Oh, do you do? Please feel free. Fill me in.
Surtur is a god of the fire giants.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, Surtur
Why
is.
are they good aligned?
Surtur is god of the fire giants.
Okay, I'll have to track that later. It's not terribly important, to be completely honest. But this does track for all for that, and that tracks too, especially for the innate for the incredibly ornate material. You would know that fire giants are very good, some of the greatest crafters in the multiverse. As good, if not better, than dwarves, depending on who you ask. I'm sure the dwarves would disagree, but that's more of a matter of taste than objectivity. However,
Giants are hands down pretenders to the title of greatest craftsman in the multiverse, and don't let nobody tell you different. The number of giants that have been felled by great dwarven arms is countless.
I mean, that is questionable, dwarf.
No, that's a fact.
I mean, there is a giant crack in this helmet, so
Yeah, see?
how well was it made?
Thank you, Raven.
Also in hell, so you know.
My helmet doesn't have a crack in it. He's conspicuously not wearing one.
Dwarf, I'd like you to stand against a giant and see what happens.
Wouldn't be the first time. Although that was back in my prime. I'm a little older now.
They would squish you like a bug.
So are we going to pick these things up, or are we just going on? Is this
Our new
where we
friend
wanna
is a
be?
giant
Do we think
apologist.
There's some blood around here somewhere.
It's felt flat, so does that work like sand where there's no footprints, no way of telling? Like
you can make
someone
a survival check. I mean,
Oh, okay. That's a +7.
Nice.
23.
yeah. So 23. You look around, and the only things of note here are yours, except that you do notice that around the base of the helmet is shifted a little bit, as if the helmet itself has moved either back and forth or twisted a little bit, where it looks like the helmet has moved just a little bit. Like you just see a teeny line of dirt where it may have moved.
Are there shovels on Dorothy?
You guys have them in your packs.
Okay. She will get a shovel and kind of along the helmet where it's moved. Just
Be
very
very careful
gingerly.
there. I mean, are we sure
Yeah,
that
Phoenix is going
helmet
to get his
isn't attached
warhammer
to
out
anything?
just in case.
Make an athletics check to move that helmet. It's big.
Bonnie
doing
is standing
dirt
up in alarm.
athletics.
Temperance is standing right there, so she'll help if you want to roll.
At
I'll do
advantage.
the help. Yeah, do that at
Yes, please,
advantage.
'cause that's a +0, so that's 10. Or
10's actually going to get it. That's all
better.
you need for this.
Okay.
Yep. It's just to make sure
17.
it's not that heavy. Okay, yeah, 17 you definitely do. It's not that heavy. It is just heavy enough that you can't easily do it. You do have to like give it a shot. So you go in there and then you lift it up and you roll it over. And inside of it, there's this little creature that kind of twitches. You recognize it as it has these bat-like wings and a big pointy tail. You've seen some of these around. This is a devil. This is a spined devil. You've killed multiple of these, but it just seems to be sitting there and it looks up at you, almost afraid. What? Why do you come here? Why do you
We're
bother
looking for-
me?
We're looking for a Titan. You're clearly not a Titan. Didn't need to knock over your house.
I guess I'm not. And you see him literally, his head like kind of looks down.
Don't be rude.
Shamefully, kind of, or
Shamefully. Very much.
Were you a Titan?
My name is Uldric.
Oh.
I think you're who we're looking for. Tempe, who are we looking for?
I thought it was old
I found
Rat.
him.
It was Uldrak.
Uldrak.
That's
Is
what I had
that-
in my
That's
notes.
what he says then.
Uldrak. Okay, Uldrak.
That's what I had in my
Uldrak.
notes anyway. ULDRAK.
Yeah. We'll call it an accent pronunciation difference.
Sure.
Definitely not the DM forgetting. Couldn't be.
Of course not.
Where I'm from, it'd be Old Rak.
Exactly. It goes.
Uh,
Yeah.
I found our Titan.
Oh. Surely you jest.
Unfortunately, my jests are not infinite.
What happened to you?
Well, I came here to do a great deed for my god. I came here to slay Tiamat once and for all.
Oh.
You can see how well that went.
So now you're trapped inside this tiny body.
I am this tiny body. She said that death was too good for me, that it was too noble to die in combat. So she did what she thought would be most offensive to me and turned me into this and told me to stay here forever.
Well, do you know any other Titans around here?
Well, now wait just a minute. So is this a creature who has blood?
I mean, if he's been turned from something into something else, Bonnie, I don't think it's gonna count. You know,
You can
them
make an
devils
Arcana
are
check.
I
devils
would
are real
definitely.
particular about that kind of stuff,
want
aren't
to make
they?
an Arcana
Yeah,
check.
anyone who would
Same.
like is welcome to make it.
Oh,
bet.
dirty 20 for me.
You think
19
Roll a
Yeah.
natural
Phoenix.
20 for me.
All right, all of you come to this realization kind of simultaneously.
Nice.
If it was truly Tiamat who did this, you're talking like wish spell level. Or I forget what the name of the spell is, the true polymorph, where it's not just a matter of like taking the form of something else, but you are metaphysically changed into that other thing. So as of now, he seems to metaphysically be a spined devil.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. And she said you have to stay here.
For all eternity, but don't worry. One of these days, I will revert myself.
And if you revert yourself, then you'll be a Titan again.
Of course.
Is there anything that a group of adventurers could do to help you revert to a Titan? I mean, do you know of a way?
All I have to do is defeat Tiamat. Well, I guess that's the eventual goal, but as of now, I just need some of her blood.
So we went from needing a Titan's blood to needing the blood of actual Tiamat. Oh, I've got a terrible idea.
I like it already.
I hate it here.
I don't know if this is gonna work, but Temperance is gonna just cut her own hand and like smear it on him.
And as you do, you just hear a booming voice go, "What has happened?" And the voice comes from that creature. His form hasn't changed, but the voice does. What? What are you? What creature is this?
I don't know, but if you could tell me, I'd appreciate it.
What
Maybe
just
even
happened
lick
here?
Your hand and it would
After
finish
a
the
few,
transformation.
he goes, "What? This is crazy!" And after about a minute, the voice reverts.
All right. Well,
What
I
was
think
that? Wait a second.
convincing
He
that
just kind of looks up at you, very confused.
As do the
Sort
rest
of-
of us.
Kind of take the staff and defensively put it between the devil and temperance.
He says, no. If you were Tiamat, that would have fixed me, but it did something. Are
well,
you?
there's a high probability that she might be my mother.
Well, let me at least clear that up for you. That would not have happened any other way.
That's what I was worried about.
I did not know she had children that were not dragons.
I didn't know that she was my mother until a few days ago, or I think maybe a week at this point. I've lost track.
Terrible family reunions.
Yeah. Yes, it really is. I don't know if there's something more than just that if we could.
Well, you don't necessarily have to go fight Tiamat. You could always. I know of one other way to collect it without having to hurt Tiamat.
Yes.
Archon
yes.
has some.
Archon.
Yes, Archon. Archon the Cruel.
Sounds friendly.
Couldn't be
Hmm.
the
Oh, boy.
Archon the Groovy.
Archon has a vial of Tiamat's blood that he wears in her honor.
Boy.
Who is this person exactly?
I don't know much about him. I heard about him only recently, as he came to this plane of existence. But he's said to be quite powerful
I have
and
a
a
question.
follower of Tiamat.
I have a question. Do we think Phoenix might have a shot of knowing anything about this guy from his time as an adventurer?
He is from a different plane of existence, but
Okay.
roll me a history check at advantage just to see.
17.
No, probably not. Not even with 17. Again, you're talking different realms,
Yeah.
so
All good.
So we now must cut off the head of Archon.
I mean, or you could just talk to him. Listen, I mean, I don't give a damn what you do to him.
All right. Well,
Okay.
if we go get this, because unfortunately mine's not quite enough.
It is unfortunate. That would be really convenient.
It would be so much easier. That's really unfortunate. If we go get this blood of Tiamat to change you back, we need, let me make sure I get this right. We are looking to hopefully acquire some of your blood to help break a pact of a djinn, I believe, so that we can free a unicorn. Would you do that for us if we got this blood?
If you could turn me back, I would be eternally grateful, and it would be the very least I could do for you.
I also would definitely appreciate it if you actually succeeded in killing Tiamat. That would
You and me both.
be great. All right. I don't suppose you have any clues as to where this Archon might be.
Well, yeah, it's actually quite easy. All you have to go is at the gate.
Gate of what?
Oh, you didn't know? Like that's where Tiamat is. She guards the gate to Dis, the second level of hell. His tower is outside the gate.
And
The
he's
gate of this
there.
what?
Yeah, it's his tower. Where else would he be?
Jax also has another suggestion, although it may be stupid. Jin is Earth. Jin Dao.
Mm.
The big red gem looks like blood.
No.
Gem is a rock.
No, that's mine. Sorry, but I need that. I can't defeat Tiamat without that. Yeah, you're not gonna do a whole lot of good with that anyway. Sorry. It ain't Earth Spirit stuff, unfortunately for you, nor is it blood. Good thought, though.
Could be easier, but
And it would be.
Um,
No, that's there for me to help me kill Tiamat.
Uldrak, do you know of the Dao that we speak of?
No. I don't think I've ever talked to a Dao. Wouldn't have any reason to.
Then how would you know that the gem does not work?
Let's just say I have an inkling that that's the case. I know what the gem is and what it does. It ain't got nothing to do with no Earth's elementals, big or little.
Can I try and speak to Uldrak in Jax's native language?
Yeah, you utter some words and it just kind of looks at you and replies back, "Nah, good try, but that's there to defeat dragons." He says back in that language. The real enemy.
Then you are who you say you are. And I'm continuing this in
That
my
language.
my
Gotcha,
language.
gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha.
And I want to say to them, how did you figure out how to reverse what was done?
Well, found the person who did it to me, and then all I gotta do is get their blood and it'll go back. Get the blood of the person that changed you or the entity that changed you, and no biggie.
What if the entity does not have blood?
Oh no, some whatever it is, listen. It might be a god, it might be a spirit, but it has some kind of blood, ectoplasm, or something. You just gotta figure out what it is. Or who.
Jax just kind of like almost like, in fact, actually will like down, like go down to one knee and like kind of bow the head.
do any of the rest of us understand this? Based
No.
on the languages that we know? Okay.
I don't think so. I can give it a check. I'll check real quick, but I don't think so.
The only one that may be
Phoenix.
close would be possibly Phoenix.
Phoenix has it. Phoenix understands. Phoenix heard you speak in German.
Uh-oh.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix's note that he wrote in his notes, which is, Phoenix's note that he took in his brain, which is what's in my notes that says Jax is a pro-giant propagandist, is starting to make a little more sense.
Yeah, Phoenix understood every word of that giant.
Phoenix would like to attempt with his negative charisma modifier to not let on that he understood that.
Make a deception check. We're gonna call it a straight roll because Jax has no reason to think that you would.
Okay, 15.
And you're just okay. What's your passive insight?
14.
All right.
I don't think Jax would actually be paying attention, so I would have like chosen to probably fail that anyway. Because I don't think Jax would actually be paying attention.
I love it when a plan comes together. I say as if I planned that.
Yeah.
Raven just looks really confused that Jack's doing something that seems kind of reverent. It's not something she would associate with this bolster's flamboyant weirdo.
Hmm.
Bonnie is sitting up in the thing, cutting her yarn and scraps and things into 3-foot lengths.
I think at this point, Temperance is just kind of like rubbing the place where she cut her hand and looking off into the distance, like, all right, let's get going to the next thing, because she's anxious now about this entire conversation. Everything about this interaction is ramped up her anxiety.
This is starting to feel like one of those ring around the rosy games that we used to play as children. Now we have to go find somebody else to do something else to help the first person. It's never ending.
Are you trying to say that in hell something is feeling Sisyphean? I can't imagine that would be the case. That's just wild. I'm shocked, I tell you.
Shocked and bewildered.
What are we doing?
Getting back to Dorothy, I guess.
One final question. You suggested that we might not have to fight Archon and could perhaps speak with him to get him to give up this presumably beloved object of reverence that he holds.
He just looks at you and just says, if you can avoid fighting him, you should.
Yeah.
It would not likely go well for you otherwise.
Right. Well, that's my point. I'm assuming the answer is no. You don't happen to have heard any rumors about, things he might like or want that a person could use as leverage or bargaining potential.
That actually makes me think of something. Do you know anything about the relationship between Archon and Zariel? Or Belle?
Zariel, I predate Zariel, but Tiamat, for a time, did desire to be the Lord of the First. So I would imagine it is not a pleasant relationship between the two. At least, not if he aligns with Tiamat the way I believe he does.
Well, that
horizontally?
could be... What?
No.
Oh.
Not quite.
Well, would we have an edge in that we have Tiamat's daughter? Would he not be interested in that?
I think he would be exceedingly interested in that.
We're not using
just
Tempe as
looks at
bargaining
Bonnie like, excuse me.
Well, it might be an open doorway, Temperance, dearest.
We're not using Tempe as a bargaining chip.
And
We could use her as an introduction to gather some goodwill.
If it all goes awry, you have the greatest thief in all of the realms.
Oh, put a sock in it. Bonnie is still cutting pieces of yarn.
Jax looks incredibly confused at the phrase, like, does not understand what you mean about put a sock in it. Like, just... I do not have socks.
Well, that gives you something to look for, doesn't it, big boy? And she begins to crochet, chain stitch, what's going to be a loop about that big.
Why does that feel ominous?
An ominous loop.
I don't know why.
An ominous loop.
Well, I mean, unless Uldrak has any other information or insight.
Can you flip my helmet back over?
Sure.
Thank you.
Tempe.
The sun is terrible on my skin.
You won't go anywhere, will you? And does anything bother you?
Where can I go? I can't die.
And there aren't little beasties around here that mess with you or anything. So if we go off and leave you, you're going to be here when we come back. Hopefully
I've been
with
here for
blood.
hundreds, if not thousands of years. I'm not going anywhere anytime in your time scale of life.
Good to know.
My punishment has been long. Hopefully not much longer.
Sort of hang one of her little dream catchers on the hook in the helmet and just go back to Dorothy.
He pokes his head like out the little eye slots and then goes back. It seems like he can crawl in and out through the visor. Okay. Are we heading out again?
Yep.
Someone roll me those 2d6s if you're heading to Archon's Tower. The Gate of Dis.
I'll roll this time, I guess.
Bonnie
like we should
starts to
discuss our
tie the
strategy.
strings on one side of the loop. And she's frantically, as you're going across the desert, there's no wind, but there's movement. So she's desperately trying to be sure she keeps everything and no strings fly off into the wind, but possibly one or two do.
It's a 1 and a 1.
Ooh, excellent. Okay.
Ooh, snake eyes.
Uno.
Okay, give me just a second.
Oh, boy.
Okay. You guys, all right, you do make your way through, and you travel for several hours. And you're looking at the map, trying to get some idea about where you might be. And you come to the conclusion that you are completely lost.
Oh, great.
Awesome.
You've traveled twice as long as you did to get from the bone brambles over to the grave. It has been the better part of a full day at this point. You're probably going to have to use another... you're probably going to need to take a long rest here shortly.
Has it just been endless salt flats? Nothing.
Nothing. Not a thing of note.
Well,
What are you doing? I mean, you could always do a forced march, or it is definitely, you could always take turns sleeping and have someone drive road trip style.
Yeah, at this point, Raven's kind of yawning and twisting uncomfortably. She's been sitting too long, and
yeah, if we want to take turns, I can hop in the driver's seat next.
Jax
Well,
is in the middle of it, laid down, just watching what Bonnie's doing.
Bonnie says, I really want to finish this. I don't mind keeping a watch off the back if we keep going. And as you look at it, she's just got like this thing with hundreds of strings of either yarn or dead vines or grass, practically almost whatever she's found, and then whatever Raven has given her. And it's starting to be quite bulky. And she starts to take a middle part of it, and she begins to create a braid down the middle part of this massive conglomeration.
I love this so much. I love this so much.
Raven's just gonna curl up like a fawn on the floorboards of the car.
All right, so we stopping for the evening.
I mean, that's fine with me either way.
I mean, I don't care. I don't care what you do. Just tell me what you're doing.
What's everybody else want to do?
I think my concern is getting to points of exhaustion. You know, if we go into forced march, we're going to hit exhaustion, which is just
Every hour.
out of character. That is not something we want to do here.
No, but I was just thinking if we wanted to keep going, I could drive for a couple hours and someone could switch out
So the way forced marches go, every extra hour of forced march, you have to roll a con save or gain a point of exhaustion.
Okay. Well, if the one person driving doesn't matter, then I'd say yeah, we'll stop because I don't want to do that either.
Yeah, I think we should probably just
Okay.
find a place to park
And
it.
Bonnie says, I'd really like the chance to cook something delicious up and maybe give us a little start on tomorrow. So let's rest up and I'll see what I've got in my stores.
Easy
Sounds
enough.
good.
And
I still have
Jax would
salted hell chicken.
Yeah.
when Bonnie starts talking about food, Jax kind of says to Bonnie, once we get out of here, I would very much like to try some of your actual food.
I would too, kiddo.
I miss the meals around the kitchen table.
Me too.
We'll see what we can do.
Who's taking watches?
Well, again, Bonnie will take first watch. She's
First watch,
finishing her
okay.
little project.
All right, and
I'll-
who's
I'll take
got
second.
Easy enough. Bonnie,
can-
roll me. Oh, you only need 2.
Okay. Cool.
Roll you a.
Perception check.
Oh, if I'd known that. Oops.
Oh, you know what? I think Bonnie is going to use her heroic inspiration
For it.
and re-roll
Oh,
that.
boy. I also don't have these rolls. Apologies, chat.
And I have a question about
guess
this
I
hit
could
die
grab
that
one
I
from
was given.
Somewhere else.
Could we run by what I could use that for?
The hit die, anytime
Uh-huh.
you're less. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm at full health, do I
Yeah, you
get
can't.
temporary? Yeah, I've got to be less than full health.
I mean, this is the one that you got awarded from chat.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'll say if you wanted to add it as temporary, I'm okay with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
so I
what we
can with
usually
it
do in
whatever I
other
want. Okay.
streams. Is if
Yeah.
it goes over your max, you just add it as temp. But it's
Okay,
obviously
well,
up to
I'm
you
gonna-
as GM.
For the
I'm gonna-
stream mechanics, I have no problem with that. Just remember, temporary hit points cannot stack.
I'd never gotten one before, I don't think, so I didn't know
Yeah.
how it worked.
You've gotten
Okay.
temporary hit points from your
I
own
am-
cooking.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm not from chat.
Not from
Okay,
chat.
I'm re-rolling perception with my heroic inspiration. And that's a 14.
Okay. It's fairly quiet, although at least one time, you do notice off in the distance a very small dust trail moving horizontally across the horizon. Maybe another infernal war machine? Something else?
And it continues to move until it's out of sight. It didn't stop. Okay.
Correct. So you wake up
Alrighty.
Jax for his watch?
Jax, there is something wandering around the desert out there. It left a dust trail, but it
Hi.
seems to have moved on.
I believe there are many things wandering deserts, Bonnie. That is how these deserts are.
Well,
Make that percent. Oh, sorry, go on.
It would be remiss of me not to mention it. Good night. And that's
Sleep well.
Jax, perception.
That's a 19
19. All right.
with a +1.
You see off in the distance something strange. This floating, maybe machine? It's only about that tall off in the distance, but it's very narrow at the bottom and goes straight up and has a curve, almost like an axe shape as it travels once again across the horizon. Oh, just off in the distance.
I'm going to kind of give a boot to Phoenix.
What?
My friend. There's and I just point I don't even say there's a something. There is a.
And you would see the thing he's talking about. Again, it's kind of vaguely axe shaped, but with continuous lines floating off of the surface in the far distance. You've never seen anything that looks like this.
Okay, sorry. So it's an object, or is it like a disturbance in the air? Or
It's
what?
an object, a thing.
A vaguely
A physical
axe-shaped
thing.
object.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks to be made of some sort of metal.
Okay. And is this like
Very
a long
far
way
off.
away? Okay.
You can't even get a sense of scale. It's hard to get a sense of scale of anything out here because the salt flats give no means of comparison.
Okay. Does it look like it's moving or coming towards us, or it's just over there?
Definitely moving, but you don't think it's coming towards you. At least not now.
Well, it don't look like it's coming towards us, so I guess we just sit here and keep an eye on it.
Jax just wanted to make sure that their eyes were not deceiving them.
Yeah, it looks crazy. I ain't never seen nothing like that.
Oh, we lost McReese.
Oh no! Rip.
No.
Okay, hang on.
Floating axe got her.
I'm gonna just go to the Zoom screen for now.
Da, 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 da.
Okay, and I don't know if we should take our break now or just...
Yeah, that's probably a good place to go ahead and take our break.
Okay.
It's so come back at, you want to just say 8:30, minute or two after maybe?
Yeah, sounds fine.
Okay, somebody gonna put that
hopefully-
in chat.
Yeah, I'll pop it in.
Because
okay.
if I put it in chat,
Yeah.
God knows what
That's
it'll
enough of
say.
to say. Well, folks, we'll be back approximately around 8:30, providing, of course, that our tech is worked out. Thank you all, and we will see you shortly.
Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trials and woe. On their own they falter, but together they will write their own tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. What was rent shall be restored. What was lost now shall be found. The price of valor ever rising, when victory brings new rewards. Tales of glory, might, and wonder, hard-fought battles, treasures won. Our heroes know their fate awaits them, and so they carry on. Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trials and woe. On their own they falter, but together they will write their own tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. What was rent shall be restored. What was lost now shall be found. The price of valor ever rising, where victory brings new rewards. Tales of glory, might, and wonder, hard-fought battles, treasures won. Our heroes know their fate awaits them, and so they carry on. Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trials and woe. On their own they falter, but together they will write their own tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. What was rent shall be restored. What was lost now shall be found. The price of valor ever rising, where victory brings new rewards. Tales of glory, might, and wonder, hard fought Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trials and woe. On their own they falter, but together they will write their own tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. What was rent shall be restored. What was lost now shall be found. The price of valor ever rising, but victory brings new rewards. Tales of glory, might, and wonder, hard-fought battles, treasures won. Our heroes know their fate awaits them, and so they carry on. Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battle
Somebody sent her the message.
Hello. Okay, everybody. So we still don't have one of our folks back. We are going to continue playing as best we can. Hopefully, she'll be able to jump back in, and we'll carry on. McReese, if you're hearing the sound of my voice, feel free to just participate in chat as best you can via your telephone device, if possible, until hopefully your computer lets you join back in. And we'll be a little bit limited in terms of maps and roles and stuff. Please bear with us, and we're just gonna do our best.
Okay. Well, it is the next day. We can mark off another soul coin. Raven is on the horn driving, but let's go ahead and get Temperance. You can go ahead, roll again.
Sure.
Couldn't be bad twice in a row, right?
I mean, it's me, so who knows?
If you have inspiration, I think you can use it on this, right? Because we can use it on any dice roll. So if you get 2 1s or similar,
all right,
feel
we'll
free
see.
to reroll.
Oh, 5 and a 6 this time.
Okay.
Oh.
You travel for several hours.
Sure we do.
The first thing you notice is the change in the horizon. Now remember, on our plane of existence, in the real world, our world, if you're driving towards the mountains, they seem to rise out of the ground because of the curvature of the earth. Sorry, flat earthers, losing always. But the mountains slowly rise out of the earth as you get closer. But Avernus is a flat plane. It is a flat land, just like the flat earthers think it is. And what happens is all of a sudden, you just notice that there are mountains in the distance. Enormous, incomparably enormous mountains. And a small little blip of a building at the bottom. And as you drive, the mountains don't seem to get much bigger. However, oddly, the building does. And you get closer and closer and see that this is not, in fact, a small tower, but an enormous, hundreds of foot tall, palatial, siege-proof structure. And then the other thing that you notice is what's at the very base of it. There's not a whole lot of white that you see on the Avernian plains, which makes the white dragon stand out all the more. It sits at 40, 50 foot tall minimum, and seems to be sitting right at the entrance of the tower.
Are we going to approach this dragon? Is this who we think the guy is?
I don't think he's the dragon, but I don't think we have a choice but to approach.
Well,
It's only one head, right?
Only one head, yeah.
Let's
One
don't
head on
just
the front.
like throw you at him to start with. Let's
Do we-
keep you as a wonderful secret.
Do we think we'd be better off just trying to kill the Dow?
Kill the Dow.
At this
I don't-
point, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think that it's probably a bit late for that. And also, I don't think that would free the unicorn. I think that would just create
And besides the fact that we clearly must return Baldur to his former glory.
Well, yes, that too. Definitely.
Yes, a Titan on our side would be quite good. Phoenix.
Well, you guys are also seeing the big ass dragon, right?
I mean, it would be a mighty
You
head
have
to
to
bring
understand
back.
where I'm coming from here, right?
Phoenix.
That like we got to
Phoenix.
get past that thing somehow. And then once we're in there, if we try to run away, it's waiting for us. So I'm just saying.
Phoenix, you're just not feeling yourself. Ever since the fire, you're just not feeling as strong as you are. Phoenix, you're amazing. You are a warrior. Here, I have something for you. Bonnie pulls up her little whatever it is, and approaches Phoenix, smiles at him sweetly, and quick as can be, hooks one over one ear, one end of the loop, and the other over the other, and now Phoenix has a full, fake beard made out of red yarn and purple yarn and yellow yarn and green yarn and string and hay and some mystery items that might have been dead, dried guts of something. We don't know. And in the middle of it, a big bow braid, and at the very bottom of it is an adorable little blue bow that apparently she has taken from part of her shirt and tied for Phoenix. Now, Phoenix, don't you feel better? You can face that dragon. You are returned to Phoenixdom.
Bonnie, as you look up into Phoenix's eyes, or down from your perspective, but as you look into Phoenix's eyes, up from the beard towards his face to gauge his reaction, you see that there was a tiny little bit of light left in Phoenix's eyes that he didn't even know he had. And Bonnie, you watch it go out.
Come on, Phoenix, be brave. Come on, kiddo, you can do this. And besides which, I remember what your beard looked like before. This is better.
All of you hear at this point as the map that is sitting in Temperance's hands just says, "He wears the hand of evil, yet his goal remains just beyond his fingertips." A dark tower looms on the horizon, its black spire rising hundreds of feet, its ramparts bristling with charred skulls mounted on iron spikes. The tower's apex splits into 5 narrower spires that jab at the sky like clawed fingers. Circling above the tower's peak is a great white dragon stained with ashen soot. As you get closer, you notice figures shuffling atop its ramparts. Undead guards in various states of decay. The dragon sits and lands back. Oh, we have McReese again.
Aha, huzzah.
I
Maybe?
fully intended to ask if I could do the thing about the meal, Robbie. Remember I mentioned
Yes,
that last
you are
night?
welcome to do that. That is totally
Okay,
fine.
and that it's like I fix that meal and everybody gets health points, temporary points. Do I roll that?
I believe so. Yeah, you could roll how much everyone gets.
Oh God, I'm trying to find it.
Hey, McReese is back.
Yay, yay,
Huzzah.
yay, yay.
Hey.
Just in time for Phoenix to get his majestic multicolored beard.
I saw
Phoenix.
that.
I know I have it, Robbie. I wrote it. Oh, here it is. 3 temporary hit points. Everybody gets 3 temporary hit points for
There
8
you go.
hours. And I
Hey,
have
that's
not
better
rolled
than
my,
none.
I have not rolled my hit
Nice.
die yet.
Cool.
Oh,
So
and
I
I-
wouldn't roll it since they don't stack.
I
Yeah.
also would have cast mage armor.
You got it. Easy enough.
Okay, sorry. How many? We get 3 temporary
3
hit points?
temporary hit
Okay.
3
points
temp hit
from the
points,
meal.
yeah.
I'll make the difference right there.
Hey, it's 6 for you if you're ready.
Leroy!
It helps when you're cheap.
And I think he probably went into a rage about the time that beard hung off his second ear.
I love that. So, what are you guys doing?
The dragon's basically right in front of the door.
I actually have a version of I'm gonna do bark skin when Tempe does her major.
Anybody
Um,
speak Draconic?
I think we should be very polite. And
No, oddly
unfortunately,
enough.
no, I do not.
It's one you'd think I would speak, but I don't.
I was
I
about to
vote-
say yes, but then I realized this says Druidic and not Draconic.
Well, shall we go talk to the dragon? I don't really see another way around it.
I think we must.
Well, we should have a sense of what. Let's just real quick strategize. I feel like we should just say, "Ho there, we seek an audience with Archon," and see what happens.
Totally
And maybe
agree.
let's play the whole, you know who mother thing close to the chest until there's no other option. Obviously, up to you, Temperance, but.
No, I agree. I'd rather not be throwing that around if I can avoid it, but I also kind of agree with Bonnie, unfortunately, that I don't know how else we're gonna... I feel like it's a card that we have to play, even though I'd rather the card didn't exist at all.
And we don't have a lot in our deck here, so.
Well, and socially, connections absolutely count. I've known
Would
that
be
to
the
be
first
true
time
all
we
my
played
life.
Tempe's ability to order people around because of this.
Yes, it's true.
I suppose we should also be aware that even if we attempt to not reveal that information, if he has some sort of relationship with who, she might also just reveal it to him regardless of what we say or do.
And
So,
we should be
everybody
proud
on
of
your
it.
toes.
If it gets discovered, Temperance, this is that time, sweetie, when you want to feel good about mommy, okay?
Do I have to?
I think you should, dear. At
You-
least for the
you
moment.
don't
Look
have
at what
to, but you might have to lie about it.
Be brave, little kid.
I've never been good at that myself.
I'm not that great at it either, but I'll do my best, I suppose.
And for God's sake, Jax, don't tell it how wonderful you are. Let it be a surprise for the future.
I mean, I was about to say that the Temperance is a mighty hero with the storm in her veins.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think it's the storm in her veins he's as likely to be
No,
interested in.
Yes.
I was being encouraging.
I appreciate that, and you're not wrong. So, all right, let's go.
We should maybe
You can
also
wear
make it
the
out
hat.
like Temperance is in charge around here.
Has Jack seen the circlet?
Crown. She pulled it
I
out
had
this
it
morning,
out and
so
was
yeah.
looking at it. Yeah.
And see, I don't feel like Jax would understand the reference of the different colored gems. So I'm not going to make the comment that I was going to make. A little bit meta. So I'm going to just...
There.
As you guys, so on.
I was just gonna say, I guess Temperance will climb down once we get close, and
You guys start to approach, and you get fairly close when the dragon roars. The roar, you hear it first, and then again as the echo comes back from the off of the mountain. And you're getting close up to as the drawbridge lowers, plunk. The dragon flies up to do a circle. And coming out from the drawbridge, from the entrance, you see this figure. It is a turtle figure with enormous spiked shell and carrying this mace with a skull on it. And he's flanked by 4 undead-looking creatures, and you just hear him say, "Well, the prodigal daughter returns to us."
Fuck.
you can visibly see Temperance bite her tongue and just say, we are requesting an audience with Archon.
Of course, why else would you be here?
Take us to him,
Follow, I am Kroll.
Kroll.
Yes, your majesty.
She flinches a little bit every time something like that happens. And I guess she'll follow.
And she just turns around. As you walk into this tower, you see a menagerie of creatures. Thousands of undead that just kind of sit around. Skeletons, zombies, ghouls that seem to be just peppered everywhere. Along with a series of other types of creatures, too. Some humanoid, some devils, more of those weird dragon-like figures that you saw earlier with big wings, but with stretched out features. And even a few full dragons. A blue dragon, a little bit younger than the one you saw, sits over in one corner. Even a red dragon, a bit older than that one, there. And he takes you to the very middle. And he says, "Stand here, all of you. We must go to the audience chamber of Lord Archon."
I'll stand where he points.
Yeah. And as he slams his mace on the ground, you see green smoke trails from the mouths of each of the skulls. And the entire the ground lifts up as a circle lifts out and starts to raise you up, and you look and see a cutout. You raise through 4 or 5 of these levels, each one 50, 60 foot tall, containing a plethora of creatures. Hallways, this building is enormous. It's a building on a scale of which you've rarely, if ever, seen before. And then you finally get to the top. And you come into this hallway. Or this hall, not this hallway. And it is massive. You see that some treasure flanks either side. And raising all the way at the end, sitting on, raised up on a massive throne, a dragonborn figure sits there. You can see his left hand, green, deformed, with a wisp off of it, stroking his own chin. Kroll gestures you forward. There are multiple creatures in this hallway, a couple of dragon wormlings, even a green dragon. But there are 2 that strike you the most. Then they flank either side of who you presume is Archon. On his right is this minotaur-looking creature with these enormous twin swords. It looks like a great sword on each side. And then on his left is a hulking dragonborn with this massive glaive, halberd type weapon that simply stands there. And as you approach, Archon sits there and looks at you, not saying anything until you get 20, 30 foot away from us. And he just says, "Ah, it is so good to see you. She said my betrothed would arrive." Sorry, I had to wear the shirt. It's required.
Oh, all right.
That's where I was going to cut to break, unfortunately.
That would have been a really good place.
That would have been
No!
such a good
Oh,
break.
man. Now I don't know what to do, and that would have given me a chance
Quick,
to think.
McReese, break your computer again. We need the time to strategize.
I think you see like sweat start to break out on Temperance's head, and she kind of swallows. And we didn't talk about how to approach this part, so she's not really sure. She's just kind of nice to meet you, I suppose. I have a favor to ask.
Looks at you.
I understand that you carry a vial of blood.
You see the hand, the greenish, the hand, his left hand looks like it is rotten, like it is about to fall off of his body, and he uses it to clutch at his chest, at the vial that you see there.
And she swallows again. I would ask for it.
I think it would be an excellent wedding gift.
I agree.
Well then, I don't believe in long engagements. Is this what we are here for?
It wasn't my intention.
Then he just looks and says, then wait, I was told this was the reason you have come to Avernus, so that we, with our, may release our lady. We are what you don't understand. Wait, is that not what you are here for?
I have business to conclude before I...
What business could be more important than serving your mother?
That's none of yours, actually.
His eyes get wide. And you see him start to get upset, but then he like collects himself a little bit. Down here, any business of yours becomes business of mine. Our fates are too intertwined to separate. What is it that you need, aside from just this vial? What is it that you seek to do?
I think at that she might throw a glance over her shoulder to everybody else just to kind of get an idea of what other people...
I'm gonna connect my the psychic whispers. And I'm good because I can connect to 3 people. I'm going to connect to Phoenix, to Raven, and to Temperance. And I'm just going to say to all 3 of them, we are here to see to the downfall of Zariel.
Yeah, that's also what I was going to suggest, he says telepathically.
And I say to the other 2, Phoenix agrees.
Temperance will just kind of nod a bit and then look back up at Archon and say, we are here to see to the downfall of Zariel.
He sits back in his chair, and then you're surprised as you see the corners of his mouth start to rise in a smile. Then our goals are aligned.
In order to do that, we need that vial that you carry.
Of course you don't.
We don't.
What would you need? No. You must realize the things I have done for Our Lady, for your mother, the sacrifices I have made. He holds out his hand. You can once again see wisps of grayish smoke trailing off of it. I have given my life to serve her, and will continue to do so. Do you think that we would have gotten this far had we not followed her plan? Who do you think allowed you to be cured of your disease? She told me. She even allowed you to have your friends be cured. Do you realize how dangerous where sickness can be down here? To lose control over yourself? 'Twas not acceptable.
So you're saying we don't need that? That we don't need the vial?
Not if Zariel's downfall and the ascendance of Tiamat to Duke of the First is what we seek.
Then I suppose you know all the things that we've been through to get to this point, and the goals that we have, and
I
the
know
plan
all
that
that
we've
is-
hatched.
I know all that is important, which is that you are here, that you have been in contact with Our Lady, and that we are betrothed.
Can I attempt to pass some information from Jax to Temperance?
Yeah, of course.
Phoenix would kind of think at Jax. Can you see if Temperance can say, we are on our own quest seeking an artifact of great power that we believe could be effective in breaking Zariel's hold over the First, or could be an effective tool in her downfall.
The message you get from Jax is, Phoenix says, we are seeking great weapon to destroy Zariel, or great artifact to destroy Zariel, or topple her throne. And it is a specific mission that we have been provided.
And we need the blood for that.
And that is why we require the blood. You have your own mission that has been provided.
Okay, after hearing that lovely message, Temperance will and in response to what Archon said, kind of step back and fold her arms, kind of in response. If that's all you know, then you definitely don't know about our mission.
Enlighten me.
We seek an artifact, a weapon that will enable the downfall of Zariel specifically. And
He kind of cuts you off. I already have that, obviously, as he holds his hand out.
But you don't know what task we've been given.
What artifact could you possibly seek
I don't
that is
think
more powerful?
If you weren't told, I'm not about to tell you.
You just go. He smiles and says, if I wasn't told, then it is irrelevant. Although, maybe appeasing you is part of the plan. Our Lady is busy, and may not be concerned with your every wanton whim, like I would, of course, be.
Quick question. Where's Lulu?
With you, I assume, hiding behind Bonnie.
Okay. I am going to cast message at Temperance, and
You also have the psychic link that doesn't require you to cast anything. Just thought process only.
Right, but I'm directly too, because I don't like the way you interpret. Besides that, I don't know. I don't remember if she told us, so I'm just going to assume it was something that maybe Raven and Temperance had discussed. But Tiamat had mentioned how she was proud that you were able to get rid of the wear disease without her help. And secondly, can we use Lulu? Just kind of pretend she's a prisoner if we need to. Like, oh, look, we have Zariel's pet.
I'm not gonna respond because I actually think it would be a bad idea to use Lulu personally. I mean, Temperance would not want to sacrifice anybody else. She's sacrificing herself, she feels like already. Um No, I think Temperance is just going to stand her ground and just say, we're on our own mission that clearly you weren't told about, and part of that requires the vial around your neck.
And that mission is not from Our Lady and is not of my concern.
That's what you think.
He just looks at you and says, You know what? Roll me a deception check.
Oh God. Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Okay, I at least need to roll, so positives.
We're spirit bombing our energy right now. Roll like shit. Roll like shit.
Can I do that thing I can do?
Oh wait, I have
When a
no,
creature
that's not
rolls
the
a
thing.
D, what I have this thing where I can make somebody roll something at disadvantage.
Possibly. Find out what it is.
Is it like a luck thing that you
crap.
have? Don't you have some kind of weird luck thing?
Well, I do have that. I have luck points, and Bonnie is standing
That's
there
only when
listening on
someone's
all of-
attacking you. Unfortunately,
You have 3 luck points you can spend on the benefits you would gain when a creature rolls a D24 an attack roll against you.
attack roll.
I'm sorry, guys.
No,
It was
that's
worth a
all right.
Got
shot.
excited.
That's all
So
right.
we
I'm looking
need-
to see if I have
we
anything.
need
I don't
I was
every-
so thrilled I remembered that.
we throw it all at the wall, gang. We need everything we
Hey,
can
it
get
was
here.
worth a shot. Now, unfortunately, he rolled very well.
Damn it. Shit.
So he just says, I will not doubt that you are on a quest, one that you even may believe is important. And we certainly may be able to attend to that. But that is only under the conditions that we follow Our Lady's plan. Please, you see him, let us eat first. As a bunch of the zombies start dragging tables out, and you see tables and benches get sat down, and then some of the human servants humanoid servants of a myriad different types are laying out tablecloths and setting up what seems to be a fairly fine dinner setup. And he just says, this way, my queen, and he points to a seat directly to his right that he gestures for you. Your friends may sit down with us, if you wish.
She's gonna look over at Raven and just go sit in the seat he pointed.
Raven's gonna stick close, kind of off to the side, like his 2 henchmen. Just kind of message. Kneecapping him's gonna be harder than I thought.
You hear him as everything starts. Please, friends of my betrothed, sit, let us eat and discuss. It's probably about that time he looks over and sees Lulu peeking out from behind Bonnie and just says, "Oh, you have brought a celestial creature here for us. That is of great benefit. Please, may I have her?"
How is that a benefit?
Oh, yes, I forgot. You have not been brought up to speed of all of that there is to know. You see, it is unwise to speak plainly in this realm, as so many can overhear you. But we are close enough to Our Lady's protection, as she resides right behind us in the mountain, that we have at least a modicum of safety here.
think that's relative, but all right.
It is always relative. That is certainly true. But Zariel would not ever march against us. It would not be her benefit. And we do a good enough job keeping the demons at bay that they generally do not come here.
So your whole plan to oust Zariel revolves around your hand.
Of course, the hand of Vecna.
Oh.
Which I stole from his grasp.
And what does that do? Oh, Temperance doesn't know.
he just kind of chuckles and says, "It is possibly the most powerful item in the multiverse. You see, it gives us enormous leverage here, but it comes at a price. When I got this hand, it only came down to the wrist, and you notice now that the rot has grown almost halfway down his forearm. It is a dangerous artifact, even for one of my strength, and with the express blessing of my lady."
So how long have you had it?
A few years.
And it's...
After I was able to get out from those adventurers, aided me in my quest.
It's already rotted half your arm off. Or not off, but you know.
Correct. And that is why I have needed the blood of Celestials. Please, please bring them here. And you see as a creature, you see this dog-headed creature, this humanoid thing. "No, please, please, no, please, no, don't, whatever you do, don't." And they pull him up, and Archon grabs his face, and you watch as this creature, whatever it is, if you want to make religion checks to see if you know what it is, you're welcome to make that roll.
Sure.
Anyone can make that. He grabs it, and you see as the life force is pulled out of this thing. We're talking Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade style, drinking from the wrong cup, as the life force is drained from it, and it retracts just a little bit up as it is done. The life force of Celestials slows the progress, although cannot arrest it completely. That is why I need her, and he points to Lulu.
Unfortunately, so do I. You can't have her.
He rolls his head. There are enough Celestials here for now. What did we get on those religion checks?
Oh, an 8.
18.
What? What was that?
18.
18. You'd recognize that as a hound Archon, or Akron. Akron, I don't know how you pronounce it, but either way, a low-level guardian, a Celestial. So, a Celestial to be sure, but a low-level one. So, usually used as guard dogs type of thing, but they have the intelligence and capabilities of humanoids. So, but
Raven's
it is
kind
now.
of going from her sunset orangey red to kind of pink.
And right now, the hand is a wonderful tool, but it is also a liability. I must find a way to stabilize it. I need celestial blood to do so. And Our Lady has provided me with exactly that. And he looks directly into your eyes.
That's what I suspected. All right.
You see, after our union, the ceremony that bonds us for life will also allow me for us to share a life force, the burden to be shared, and with your divine blood, it shall arrest its progress.
Um,
And then if you need this vial as a wedding gift, it is yours.
so we
Plus
have,
whatever help you need. Do you need an army? I have an army.
I actually think that army would be detrimental to this process.
He looks and just says, an army is detrimental to no process.
Yes, that's coming clearly from someone who always has an army at the beck and call.
Fair.
So you won't give over the blood until we go through with this ceremony, is what you're saying?
Or something else that would allow us to arrest the progress of this and help. Although Tiamat's plan is for us to be wed, and who am I to go against Our Lady's plan?
That's her plan.
You would hear Jax in your mind saying, what if you told him that you needed it for a gift? What if you knew exactly where to get a celestial being that is one of the purest celestial beings possible? You would not be lying. We do not have to give it to him.
You're not referring to the unicorn, are you?
That was, you wouldn't have heard it. Direct to Temperance. Unfortunately, Psychic Whispers is great, but it's essentially a one-way. It's good, but it's not that good, unfortunately.
I feel like Phoenix has Pixel has a thing he could contribute, but I don't know if Phoenix does.
Temperance is gonna actually hold out her hand and just say, "May I?"
And he reaches out the hand of Vecna.
Can I make some sort of medicine check or something to see if I could see what I could learn about what's going on?
That would be religion or arcana.
Religion
Unfortunately,
or arcana.
this ain't normal medicine.
That's kind of what I figured.
But you can make either roll.
I thought she wouldn't be touching that icky hand.
I think
I can
that Temperance is
resist.
doing a lot of things that she doesn't want to do, and this is just one of them.
Amongst. Add it to the list.
Yes, a long list. I'm gonna roll Arcana.
Okay.
It's better than
Can I
medicine
give her an
anyway.
assist for Arcana?
Brutal.
You can. Yeah, if Raven is helping, you can roll advantage.
Okay, good. We'll do it
I got a
again.
+9.
And how are you
Arcana.
examining this? Go ahead and tell me how you're examining the hand.
I think that I am touching it, and I'm feeling the difference between the hand and where it's like traveling up his arm, and what where that contacts his normal arm, and just so it's Arcana, but like with the medicine twist, because she does have.
So are you
healer-
grabbing the hand?
Yeah, I'm touching it.
Okay. As you grab the hand, I want you to take 20 points of necrotic damage.
Great.
As you feel part of your life force be sucked away, and he would like pull his hand away real quick and just say, "There are precautions that must take so that I do not hurt you." Kroll, please. And Kroll slams that down, casting a healing word on you, restoring your HP back.
Okay.
I have a very important but irrelevant question, which is, does the food here taste like shit?
I wanted to ask that
News for
question
you.
too.
It in fact does not taste like shit. It tastes really good. The food here is
What?
some of the best that you've had.
Okay. What kind of food is it?
So you're not sure. It's a series of random assortments of food, grilled. You definitely see some grilled abyssal chicken, along with a bunch of other random assortments of things.
So
all of them being quite.
Would you say it's finger food?
So Phoenix would like to do a tiny, just like, experiment. He is gonna have the alchemy jug make 2 gallons of mayonnaise, and he's going to spread it on some of the abyssal chicken to see, just like on a little corner, to see if it tastes like mayonnaise or if it tastes like shit.
And it does taste like mayonnaise here.
I was having the same thought of, does Raven's hot sauce finally taste normal again?
And it does. And it does in these walls.
Well, I think
She's
that Bonnie,
missed her hot sauce, so she's just going.
I think that Bonnie wants to.
No one
eat
screenshot
something,
that, please.
But when Bonnie looks over and sees the globs of mayonnaise that I am sure Phoenix is getting in his brand new beard, she's just upset.
Yeah.
Do you,
but Phoenix also takes like an empty bowl that's nearby and just like scoops out a bunch of mayonnaise from the jug and sets it on the table in case anyone wants mayonnaise.
Temperance is like absently dipping chicken in the mayonnaise thing as she's eating
across the table from you, Phoenix, is that hulking dragonborn guy. And he just says, this man knows how to eat. Ha ha ha. It is good. They brought it up from the casino.
The casino?
Jax has just got 2 drumsticks, just.
Yes, the casino. Tiamat's casino over there. Were you not aware?
Like a gamble. I have a jug that can make substances. So this is my mayonnaise. You're welcome to have some. I'd put it on the table for anybody. But no, I was not aware of a casino, like a gambling house.
Of course, yes, that is the place. It is beautiful. One of my favorite places to go. As I say, trying to look at the name of the place, whose name I absolutely forget.
And Phoenix is just trying to puzzle out what use a weird infernal deity dragon mother of monster creature would need with a casino. Just like, that's really taking up all his brain power at the
Even
moment.
dragon gods need an income.
What do they even gamble for? Soul coins?
Soul coins, I would assume, yeah.
Hold on, we're gonna.
That's all right.
No, wrong adventure.
My Arcana checks failed miserably, so I'm going to use an inspiration to try to get something over a 5.
We believe. We believe.
That's better. That's a 21.
We believed it into being.
Thank God.
Okay, and what were you rolling? What were you rolling that for?
Arcana to look at his arm and see if I could discern anything about it.
The Red Belvedere is the name of the
Red Belvedere.
Yeah,
that
the
does
Red
not
Belvedere.
sound like a gambling house or a casino to me.
I'll pop it in our chat so you have that. He would just say, "Yes, the Red Belvedere is a wonderful place. I go whenever I can." There we go. All right, and
I'll
what
have
were you
to
rolling
check it
that
out.
check? Can you remind me what you were rolling that check for? As I was trying to do 2 things at once.
It's all right. That was to look at the Archon's hand and arm
Gotcha.
to see if I could see anything about it or learn anything about it.
You kind of try to tune into, not attune to it, but channel some of your energy. And even doing that, it does the equivalent of giving you enormous red klaxons. Evil, evil, evil. This thing's evil. And the power on this thing is like nothing you've ever seen before. It is oozing arcane magic in ways that you were not even aware was possible. In fact, you think the fact that this has not consumed him is a testament to how ludicrously strong Archon is. That this is the kind of magic that would just immediately consume lesser beings. So, um, y'all see Guardians of the Galaxy, what happens when they grab the Infinity Stones? Think that.
Mm. Great. I think at this point, Temperance is going to think down the bond towards Jax and ask him to distribute it to whomever that I don't see a way around me actually marrying this guy. Unless somebody has a better idea.
I would literally just to Phoenix and Raven and Temperance believes she has no choice but to marry the
Yeah. I don't. Again, Pixel has a thought. I don't know if it's a thought Phoenix would have. I don't know if you want me to roll something.
Share it. Now, just go ahead and share the thought. The worst thing is that we can agree that it's out of character knowledge. It's not going to hurt anything.
Well, and Phoenix might put it together. I don't know. But it's a real Hail Mary. The sword that we're after is somehow tied to Zariel before she fell, I guess. The wonder is, like, to what extent Zariel might have some kind of celestial status, or might be able to be forced to have some kind of celestial status, and kind of dangle that as like a possibility of, rather than needing you, he could just absorb that.
So all of you were aware that she was an angel once.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
So that's something all of you are already aware of. So I think it's fair that Phoenix could have had that thought.
Yeah, so, again, it's like he's speculating about some magic he definitely does not understand. But, like, whatever's going on with this sword is somehow connected to how she fell, as far as we can tell so far. So it's just like a real Hail Mary pass of, like, I don't know, what if we found you another source of the celestial stuff that you need, and like... And it like has a couple of prongs, right? One is denying her a bunch of souls from that town that she uses to get power. 2 is maybe giving him a thing that he wants. 3, it's what we want. I don't know. But again, it may not work that way, and Phoenix wouldn't know.
Maybe play it off as we could retrieve the sword as a wedding gift. Sword first, wedding after.
Yeah.
I didn't pull a runner.
Isn't the point of getting the sword so that we could use it as a bargaining chip, though? Wasn't that why we were... Like, it's one of the ways to get out of the contract was to
convince her to break the contract.
Yeah.
Bargaining chip, or... Also, it's an incredibly powerful artifact that you had been told could help destroy her as well.
That's true.
You kind of had the choice. That was the way it was explained to you, is it's a either or thing.
Okay.
Well, and the other thing is that we don't necessarily have to be telling Archon the truth, and we don't necessarily have to know if we're telling him the truth. It's just that, like, it puts us in a position where maybe we have an option later down the line to do, I don't know. But also, you could
Temperance be married off to this crazy
Are you
guy?
trying to say that Archon is trying to make it feel like you have no choice? That's crazy. I can't believe that you.
The other thing, another thing that Phoenix actually would be smart enough to point out is that he absolutely needs you. You are in a we're in a shit position, and they could kill us very easily, but he can't kill you. And also, there's a question of, does he need your consent? It doesn't seem like this wedding thing is a thing he can do to you without you agreeing to. So you do sort of, to some extent, have like a thing he absolutely needs that he can't get unless you consent to it. Puts you in a stronger bargaining position than maybe it seems like we're in.
You're holding the cards.
Yeah.
You also, sorry.
If Bonnie has been hearing a lot of this, and it would occur to Bonnie about the thing, if he just said he would give her, which it occurred to Bonus Mom, he just said that he would give her a gift. A thing that went through Bonus Mom's mind would be to say, oh, but that is so generous of you to offer a gift. And it would be appropriate if Temperance had a gift for you. And that
Yeah, and that's basically what Pixel was
So-
saying about
But that
the
also
sword.
does sort of put us in an
that would
awkward
lead
position of
into
like,
that's an
we
opening
need
for
him to
that.
give. It's not like they can exchange at the same time. He has to give us his gift before we can get
Mhm.
her gift. So it's like there's a bit of he may balk at that.
But ultimately, he's going to get her, he thinks. So he's going to get the biggest gift. You know, this is like a gift for a gift, so I get the big gift.
Mm.
So anyway, that occurred to Bonus Mom is about, oh, maybe you can get out of here by saying you need to get him a gift, and that's what you need the vial of blood for.
Which is also what Jax kind of hinted at with the unicorn as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Phoenix was just offering the idea of if we can find a way to make Zariel be celestial, or if she still just is somehow, that also is an end run
Jax
around
would
the
try and
unicorn
relate
problem.
as close to Jax's understanding what Pixel explained to Temperance. I'm not gonna vocalize all of that because it was too much
No.
for my little brain.
Well, I think Bonnie would have popped up and said that after he said the thing about the gift. I think we all know that Bonnie sometimes does pop off, and I think she would have said that, oh, but we don't yet have a gift for you. And it also occurred to Bonnie to try to present us as your attendants. He has his attendants, and we are your attendants, and Lulu is also your attendant. So that's the other thing that occurred to me is, oh, but she's a member of the wedding party.
Gotcha. And Archon would look at you and just say, interesting. What sort of wedding gift are you? I'm not to spoil any surprises, but
You're too curious.
but unfortunately, we do not have that luxury. I am willing to hear discussion
Temperance, you have
if
an
it
inspiration
is
pack.
worth having.
Well, there's a couple of ideas rolling around in my head. But part of the reason, actually most of the reason why we need that vial is we have a lead on the Sword of Zariel.
At that point, his head kind of tilts and goes, the Sword of Zariel. And you see him sit forward a little bit.
Yes, and she'll mimic that
oh no, mirroring! She's mirroring, gang!
She'll mimic that motion.
She'll fucking get him.
Yes, we have traveled quite a lot and talked to quite a few people. And the Sword of Zariel is a mighty artifact that I would like to obtain, but I can't do it without that vial.
You would just go, we may be able to arrange something. Tell me about this sword. How is it that you became aware of it?
Aware of the sword itself? Doesn't everybody know about Zariel's sword?
I must admit, I am a recent arrival to this plane itself. I am from a faraway land and traveled through the multiverse and have only come here to Avernus in the last year or so to return to be with my mistress and to work on her ascendancy. Although, of course, our eventual goal would be to lead her to escape from this plane entirely. Becoming the Duke of Avernus would be a satisfying alternative.
I see. Well, the Sword of Zariel was hers before she became the Duke of Avernus, when she herself was still a celestial, an angel.
I had heard such rumors, but was not quite sure they were true. It is good to hear it confirmed.
But the trail that has led us to this knowledge in order to follow up on it requires the vial around your neck.
He essentially is just going to go, please. I am a man who does not simply look at the big picture. A tactician must know the details. Fill me in. I want to know what you're not going to tell him if you're going to give him the chain of events.
I don't want to tell him about the Titan.
Okay, that's fine.
But I will tell him about the hag and about the Dow.
So how are you playing off needing the blood?
Maybe it's the hag's price?
Yeah, I think I would just skip the Titan and say that the hag is...
Roll me a deception check at advantage, and I'm keeping the fact that he is very invested in this in mind with the DC.
Okay. Advantage. Roll. Nat 20 for 23.
Woo, 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 woo. Go, girl.
You hear him say, this sword sounds like it could be useful. You say it is a celestial artifact? Maybe the power from this artifact itself could be drawn, taken, rendered. You have my blessing to pursue this. If you still agree at the end, the betrothal must go forward. That goes beyond our plans for simply the hand. You see, Tiamat will need an heir.
When I bring you the sword, we will go through with it. We will perform the ceremony or whatever it is.
Kroll will be the officiant. We have a quite nice place set up. It's in the back. It's a really pretty view. It's actually in the Red Belvedere. We have a whole room in the casino booked out for it. It'll be wonderful.
All right. Well, I have a list of requirements. I have been. I am 18 years old. I have been planning this since I was 5. And...
Of course, yes. We will make sure that it is perfect. No, that no expense will
dressed
be.
as Elvis.
And then, but you.
And she'll start rattling off every flower she's ever heard Raven mentioned.
And so as you start saying that, you literally watch as Archon snaps, and someone comes up and is like furiously scrolling, writing down every single word you say, and they're like literally actively sending people off to go like do things.
The amount of cultists that are getting messages like, I need you to find a blood lily and burn it in the bowl. To send these things to hell. Daffodils for the blood god.
4-leaf clovers.
Whole bouquet. 4-leaf clovers.
And again, they are just like furiously hanging on your word.
Yeah, what's the supply chain on lace in hell? Some poor seamstress that sold their soul a while back is being traded like a Pokemon card right now.
At some point, I know Raven mentions like a corpse flower because she can't stand them because of the smell. And it's just like someone's off somewhere trying to find a flower that smells like a dead body.
That's amazing. That only blooms once every like 7 years or something like that.
Well, this is, I must admit, a pleasing shift. Your mother will be so proud of you when I tell her of all you have accomplished. She will, of course, want to visit after the ceremony.
I'm not surprised.
She also wants grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
An
We
heir.
all, dear.
An heir to our empire we will build in the realms across the multiverse.
We can have that discussion once we're actually married.
He just kind of nods. You see, I think this can work. I have arranged for some things for you. You see him as he kind of snaps and people come forward and bring some things. I have heard that you would enjoy maybe some trinkets.
I do like shiny
It's
things.
the weirdest flirting I've ever heard. May I interest you in some trinkets, miss?
And not just for you, for your entire entourage as well.
Ooh.
I know how important it is that our... What is it that you called it, ma'am? Looks at Bonnie. What did you call the lackey? You guys, your lackeys, your servants.
Attendants? What's it?
The attendance.
Oh, the wedding
parties?
party.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I know how important it is that our attendants be well maintained. Please look at mine, and you see the group of like armed to the damn teeth people in front of you.
His hulking dude has a little bit of mayonnaise left over on the side of his mouth.
And he does. Oh no. Yeah, Caliban, the Dragonborn guy, does. He ate that mayonnaise and he loved that, and he desperately wants more. Yeah, he's like, talking to you, like, hey, I'll make you trade. Like I got this, and he holds up his belt. I just want that.
Does Phoenix think that belt is what Pixel thinks that belt is? Shit. Oh, that's the beer, but that's the belt. But that's where I get the beer. But that belt.
2 gallons of mayonnaise.
I bought that. Didn't I sell health potions
that.
to buy this?
You did.
God damn it. Phoenix is okay. God damn it. Sold. Phoenix hands
pulls
over
off
the
and hands
alchemy
you
jug.
The belt of fire giant strength.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah, and I explain how it works, that it can make a whole bunch of different stuff. He's welcome to try.
He goes, honey, and he starts pouring it. He starts just pouring it into his mouth. Oh yeah, all over him, and he goes, "This is awesome. This is better than we had in Chult."
All right, belt of fire giant strength. On and attuned. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ.
Talk nice, Pixel.
The next time Phoenix hits something is going to be real exciting.
And it's not going to be that hard to hit things either, is it?
Just for those of you at home, Phoenix is rocking a +12 with his Warhammer to hit.
Whoa.
At this point.
Oh!
Yeehaw!
Oh, damn.
Jeez. I feel like there aren't like story points in this game, but I do feel like Phoenix deciding to take a powerful magical item instead of the beer is actually some kind of character growth for you.
That's enormous.
Character growth.
Phoenix, straight in the corner.
That's growth.
And as Pixel is doing that, I just see Phoenix stroking that miserable excuse for a beard.
And I bet
He's rubbing the
doing it, like,
mayonnaise into the beard by accident as he's...
well, like he's so used to having the beard, and
Uh-huh.
so now that it's, yeah, I could see that too.
He's
That's
kind of
amazing.
poking his finger in the braid.
Oh, and I need to
time
take
or
off
two.
the alchemy jug. Bye-bye alchemy jug.
But it's been so much fun,
cry.
Pixel. The alchemy jug's been great.
I will remember you.
Oh man, my brain just
You
created like a
make
slow-mo
mayonnaise.
cutscene of you handing over
Slow-mo
that
montage.
Yeah.
Just mayonnaise.
Yeah, there's definitely a moment that we see sort of where the camera pans back and forth. It's like Phoenix's face. He's looking at the jug. He's looking at the belt. He's looking at the jug. He's a tear falls down into the the party color thing on his face. He slowly hands it
Quiet
over.
night around the campfire, and everybody's discussing Well, Duke's is better. No, it's Hellman's. No, it's
That
Miracle.
moment when both hands have it and it's kind of going
Yeah.
back and forth, right?
And then he lets go.
Oh.
Oh. The most emotional part of Fenix's whole arc, and he's already met his son.
I love that. I love that so much. Okay. So, and
Sorry, before I did all that, we were talking about trinkets.
yes, so as they're gonna come around and bring something to each of you.
Okay.
So, they're first of all going to come around. So, Phoenix, that was, as you might imagine,
Yeah.
yours. It was just too funny to not present it in that way.
Yeah,
Had to
no,
be done.
for sure.
It had to be done.
Absolutely was the right call.
Raven, as they come up to you, you see this little. It looks almost just like a circlet, but it has little dashes of light that keep gleaming off of it, and they hand it to you. And it is the crown of whirling comets.
Ooh. She's, just fixated on the little swirls.
Okay. They are going to continue going around. Now, before I give this to you, I want to double check with Jax. Do rogues still get proficiency with long swords in the new rule set? Because that might change. I forgot. I just realized I had forgotten to check that.
Crossbow, hand crossbow, rapier, scimitar, short sword, simple weapons.
Okay, we'll just go with this then. They bring up this beautiful rapier, and then they hand it to you. For the noble warrior we have heard.
No, Jax does not reach out and grab it.
And you don't have to, because as it doesn't, it stands to attention right in front of you. A dancing rapier. And as you think, it starts to move around with your thoughts and fight on its own.
It is not cursed.
Not cursed. It is a beautiful gift.
Thank you.
Okay. For you, and they are going to turn to Bonnie.
Yes, yes.
We see that you are one who likes to keep you care deeply about your friends. So this for you, and they hold out this staff.
Staff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It is a beautiful innate staff. It is a staff of healing.
Oh.
And also, please, you will ask us if there is anything else you need. I got something else for you in a bit. So, because that's only a rare item. Only rare.
Oh,
So do I have to figure out what else I need, or you're?
Oh no, I'll get to you in a second. It's just going to get to you in a different way.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, thank you very much. And I'd also love to take my little bag here and put some of this food in it, if it would be all right for us to take for the road. Is
They
there
nod
any
in
chance
understanding.
it'll taste as good out there as it does in here? Oh,
Unfortunately, it is a perk of living in the shadow of the queen.
well, it's all right because my bag was getting a tad empty, so I do need some more comestibles to refill it. So thank you so much. And Bonnie's going to get about 10 more days of food leftovers, whatever she can deal with off the table.
Nice. So, then, and for you, my queen, I have something very special. For one, and he's going to reach out with his good hand, You're going to see him channel some energy. And go ahead and take the moderately armored feat. If you don't have lightly armored, you might have to add lightly armored as well. But basically, you now have proficiency with light and medium armor.
Find
And
it because I don't see it. Oh, there it is.
you might have to add lightly armored before you can add moderately armored.
I did.
Just don't add the bonus for. Well, I guess you could add the bonus to strength or constitution or whatever. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. And with this, you're also presented with your battle armor as they bring out a full set of what is very obviously dragon hide armor. Red dragon scale mail.
Cool.
So dragon scale mail is what you're looking for.
Got it.
Less squishy.
Except for I won't be able to use my mage armor anymore because you can't use it when you're wearing armor.
That's true. This is better than that.
I believe it. I believe it. So what was it? Dragon what?
Scale mail.
Dragon scale mail.
Yep.
And you said it was, ooh, it's different colors.
Yep, it's red.
Red.
Just as like an unrelated aside, I do feel like Phoenix is having some trouble adjusting to the new strength and like picks up a glass and accidentally shatters it. Like, ah, shit.
Love that. And also, of course, and he's going to reach and with his good hand, once again, kind of probably uncomfortably touch your chin and then reach down and grab the vial around your neck.
Oh. She's going to reflexively try to catch it, but probably miss.
You grab his hand instead, and it makes him quite happy. And you see you see a flash of red light occurs, and that's going to move to a +2.
Ooh.
The +2 Bloodwell vial.
Nice.
And you're going to see him say, as he turns around and takes the necklace off with the vial of blood, and he will say, "To my betrothed, a pact for our marriage. Lastly, I give you this." And he's going to pull a ring out. Unfortunately for you guys, she's special, so, you know. Hate to tell you, but you kind of get...
Listen, I just want to make sure the ring ain't spying on us. When we get out of here, we gotta identify that son of a bitch.
What? Why would you ever think...
Listen...
I
think Phoenix also tells Jax telepathically, like, we should let everybody know if we're going to talk about betraying this dude, we should do it, you know, in the brain style so that no one can overhear it.
Please, take this ring, and I will pop a picture of the ring. I hate the way this looks, so it doesn't actually look like that. Never mind. But he takes the ring and then places it on your finger. An engagement ring to be. I'll pop what it looks like according to D&D Beyond, but I don't like it.
Did Kaylee freeze?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, right.
No. Yeah, I don't like it either.
Okay,
creepy.
I'm trying to add staff of healing.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
I can help you
can't.
with it if I need to, Mom.
Thank you, Pixel. I'd appreciate that.
Creepy. All right. I'm writing creepy engagement ring in my inventory.
Cool. This ring of telekinesis can help you in your battles. I say that because, to be completely honest, the dragon scale mail is really, really good when you're fighting dragons, but you're probably not. If you're really, unless you're really, really unlucky, you probably won't do that. So the dragon scale mail is more of just like for the theme and to give you a little bit of armor.
Fair
So
enough.
it's not actually all that helpful to you, to be completely honest. But anyway.
That's okay.
And it's probably Tiamat branded too, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's the ring. It looks like Tiamat's symbol with the 5 clawed, but it's a jewel where each one of the claws is a different precious jewel. So there's an emerald, a sapphire, a diamond, a ruby, and emerald, sapphire, diamond, ruby, and an onyx. There we go, black. Or maybe a black diamond, probably. Either way. It's very beautiful, and in the real world would cost borderline hope diamond amounts of money. You're wearing a rock, is what's happening. They just handed you a rock. So.
Great. Awesome.
When you come back, the army will be at your disposal.
Thank
but
you.
come back with the sword, as we will need it. And he's going to grab your hand, or reach out to grab your hand. Not going to take it. He's just reaching out.
I'll give it to him.
And he gently kisses your hand.
She's just gonna do her best to keep a straight face and just say thank you again.
Do you need any of my muscle to accompany you? Will you be safe on your own? It seems like Caliban has taken a liking to you, and he still has like honey all over his face. Yeah, you're pretty cool.
That's a very sticky mess you're in. No, I think we'll be all right. We've got some very strong and capable people.
He nods in understanding. Feel free to rest here for tonight. We will fix your infernal war machine if it has any damage, and also he will put out. I realize it may be difficult for you to carry these, but here, and he's gonna take 10 soul coins for the group, as you may need them.
Scoop them into the bag of holding.
Bag of holding.
Just slide them off the table right in.
He knows how they worked, and he has gotten the idea that you are not, in fact, evil aligned. So he knows how this goes. So he follows along. One of the minions drops them in, who apparently had no problem carrying them.
Mm-hmm.
Shock horror.
It's not surprising. Yeah. Well, Temperance is going to turn to everybody else. So just, what do you think? Spend the night here, then head out in the morning?
I mean, all you see from Jax is there's a floating rapier in front of them that subconsciously they do not want to grasp. So every time they're going to grasp it, it's moving away.
That's great.
Raven's kind of,
I love that.
while she's holding the bag of holding open for the, she's starting to hover off the ground as she attunes to her.
Temperance is just going to put her hand on her shoulder and like push her back down.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
suppose
Bonnie
we
has
should.
whispered to somebody, and God knows where they found it, but someone is bringing her some very fine crochet thread with little silver sparkles in it and a tiny little crochet hook. Wonder where they got that.
So
We smash cut to like a cultist running into a temple, blood pouring out of his face. Tiny crochet hook barely gets it onto the altar where it vanishes before he dies.
You guys sent like hundreds of minions to their death to get like daffodils and like all of the things. They're like putting the full might of Tiamat's cult to getting these wedding preparations. I know you're so disappointed.
If you're the daughter of a goddess and you're gonna have
A certain type of
wedding.
buttercream.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like one
now
bakery
now I'm imagining a whole adventure where we play the adventuring party that's a group of Tiamat cultists that has to go get all the
stuff. The hardest part is going to be the heist at the like culinary academy in Waterdeep, where the best buttercream icing can be found.
Oh, and how many minions are going to lose their lives because they can't cut the crust off of the bread without flattening the bread.
There's a you know, a like ancient wizard who is pouring through an ancient scroll to find the recipe for the correct napkin folding technique.
Oh, and the punch. Where are they getting pineapple juice in hell?
They have to like go to Eberron to find the highest artificer to just fold this napkin.
Yes.
Like, we need the deftest fingers.
It's like the infinitely recursive napkin of folding. It sucks him inside, but it's beautiful when he's done.
Nice sculpture of Tiamat that has to come from Icewind Dale.
Oh my god! But
Yes.
it has to come to hell.
And not melt.
And the other, so Temperance also, she was raised in a cult, right? She doesn't actually know what a wedding is like. She's never been to one.
Oh,
So
hell
she's
yeah.
just making ridiculous, whatever she could think of demands.
But my favorite part is they did not flinch for a second. Not only did they not flinch, they didn't give a sideways look. They're just taking notes and immediately like, you got
We
it,
will make this
done,
work.
Done. What's happening?
Oh.
Oh, Lord.
You guys are led a couple floors down to chambers, and all of your chambers are nice, very well appointed individual chambers, unless you wanted to stay with someone else. Your chambers, Temperance, are palatial, a multi-room suite. There is an enormous bubble bath in one part.
Definitely taking a bubble bath.
Oh yeah. And there's also several servants that are like in attendance there to like, you have to shoo one of them out of the bathroom because they're like, yes, I am the bathroom attendant. That is what we do. And okay, if you tell me to leave, of course, that is what I will. Okay, and then they do, of course. But then they're just like a little weirded out. Like, what do you mean? That's like our job. Well, I bathe Archon. Like that. Of course, that's what we do to the royalty. Like, duh. That's not. Yeah. Anyway.
Well,
Phoenix?
I think I keep Lulu with me.
Yeah,
Because
Lulu.
I want to
yeah.
keep an eye on her.
Lulu is like glued to you. She's like, I didn't like him. He was scary.
I know. It's all
Is she
right.
really gonna marry him?
I
hope not, but
Listen, let's talk about something else. Not having any idea who's anywhere close. Bonnie
Okay.
shushes.
okay.
Lulu.
Yeah, Lulu is an innocent little bean who doesn't know
Lulu.
to shut up.
Temperance would
She is talking
definitely
in your head for whatever it's worth. She communicates telepathically.
Temperance would also look at Raven and be like, "Don't leave me alone in here, please."
Okay.
Also, Phoenix would like to see if there's any way he can get his hands on some of that Detranian Baylor ale in kegs to put into the bag of holding now that he's lost his alchemy jug.
So the attendant goes, "We'll see what we can do." Anyway.
And he says, listen, if you can't get the special stuff, any beer is fine.
Okay. So, you guys are, sorry, I heard fireworks around me, which is kind of weird. I guess it is Memorial Day weekend. Anyway. So, Lulu and Bonnie are having their evening, and Lulu kind of snuggles up and goes to sleep. Bonnie, you are starting to think through things, and a voice pops in your head. Well, it is so scary, my child, what has happened. You've done so well for us. Thank you so much for protecting us all. So, I believe that you need some more help.
I'll take all the help I can get.
Your Tunisian crochet hook. It starts to change.
Ooh.
And it is going to be a Rod of the Pact Keeper +3.
Ooh.
Nice. Oh, thank you so very much.
You can decide what you would like it to look like. So it went from your spatula to the Tunisian crochet hook, and you could decide what, if anything, you would like it to change or be. You guys get the first quiet rest that you've had since you've been in Avernus. Except Temperance.
I
The voice in your head just says, you now see the route that is laid out for you. You may wind along the path instead of taking the straight route, which is perfectly fine. Just make sure your destination is the correct one. And that's where we will end for this evening.
Huzzah! Well, hell yeah, gang. What a session. Incredible stuff. Good lord, that was tense. Thank you everybody for watching. We are going to go through and remind everybody who we are. We're not going to raid tonight because I have another thing I got to get to here in a second. And we will be back in 2 weeks, I believe, which is going to be June the 7th. So that'll be our next session after tonight. I'm going to throw it back to DocRobert.
Hi, everybody. I have been Robbie, or DocRobert, the Dungeon Master, who, although still putting them through hell, has at least given them some very nice trinkets to make up for it. I'm starting to feel less bad. I never felt bad. That's not true. I never felt bad about it. It was always good. And Temperance had to get the best items because she's been through the most crap. So, anyway, so thank you so much. I will throw it back to Pixel.
Hey everybody, I'm Pixel. Tonight I have been Phoenix Brightgrim, your mayonnaise dealer and new belt haver, as well as artificial face for ornament stand. And you can find me here on twitch.tv/hammerpixel. Next week, I think my plan is to stream Tuesday and Thursday, maybe. I might do some coding streams in and around. We shall see. And then you will be able to see me again. The next time you'll be able to see me here on AOA will be on June 7th. And our next episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist is all the way out on June 29th because, you know, summertime and vacations and schedules get a little rough. So that's when the second episode of that will be.
Bonus Mom.
Well, Bonus Mom thought she was going to be streaming twice on Memorial Day with Pixel. Did that change?
Oh, yes. No, we'll be
Yeah,
doing that.
so-
I forgot. I completely, yeah.
Okay, Bonus Mom played Bonnie Mama tonight, human warlock. Very confused.
We do like Warnock,
obviously.
though. He's good.
He's good.
He's
There
one
we
of the
go.
good ones.
Ah,
He's a good guy.
and
He's a good
hopes that the
good
next
guy.
time that you see me will be maybe playing some split fiction on Memorial Day, maybe playing also a little bit of Final Fantasy 14, getting back in the swing of things. You can find me doing that on TikTok and the Purple app over here on Twitch also. And if you're indulging in Memorial Day weekend in the US of A, be careful and keep those fireworks away from me, please. And thank you.
McReese.
I'm McReese. Tonight I have been playing Raven LaFey, the tiny tiefling druid who was not expecting to go to an engagement party tonight. I can usually be found in Bonus Mom's community, different places, keeping things safe, making sure everybody's behaving themselves.
No remark.
Hello, I'm Cam or Noramak. I've been playing Jack the Mighty this evening, the giant sympathist, message passer, and now fancy dancing sword wielder.
Princess Temperance.
I am Gailey or Christy, and I've been playing Temperance, the Heir Genasi sorcerer, daughter of Tiamat, betrothed of Archon, traumatized
Mother of dragons.
child, mother of
Mother of
dragons.
Dragons. Oh.
How bad
Uh,
Raven wanted to ask if dragon-born babies are hatched or, birthed or hatched, laid.
Just don't even. There's so many questions. I have so many questions. Being an animal person, it's all bad. It's all bad.
Magic.
You can.
There's
find
been a
me.
whole discussion about dragonborn physiology that I will not pretend. I won't bother summarizing it, but it's been very interesting.
I'm sure. I'm sure Temperance does not want to know. Where am I? I'm on TikTok.
Where
I'm
can you be
sometimes on
found?
Twitch. Reality Break 20 on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, that's where you
Thanks in the chat.
Playing with her mom, who's not going to force her to marry a
Yes.
dragonborn.
The good one. The good
It's
mom.
true.
Yeah.
The good mom.
The +3
yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take us out, Pixel.
Alrighty, folks. Well, thank you so much for watching. We super appreciate everybody who's been hanging out while we do our exciting and fun weirdness that is Dungeons & Dragons. And as always, until the next time that I see you, be kind to yourself and, bash the fash. Peace out. We'll catch you later.
Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness, left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trial.